Hey there, cat parent. If you've ever watched your cat scratch and scratch and scratch some more until you're wondering if there's actually any fur left under those paws, I want you to stop scrolling for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to show you has helped thousands of cats find relief, and it costs less than a cup of coffee. I'm a veterinarian, and today we're talking about one simple kitchen ingredient, just 1 teaspoon, added the right way, that pet parents swear by for calming itchy, irritated skin and making their cat a much less appealing snack for ticks. But before you run to your pantry, I need you to watch this whole video, because how you use this matters just as much as what you use. Use the wrong way, it can actually hurt your cat. Use the right way, it could be one of the easiest additions to your cat's routine. Let's get into it. First, let's talk about why your cat is itching in the first place, because that scratching is never just nothing. Itchy skin in cats, which we vets call pruritus, is one of the most common reasons pet parents bring their cats in for a visit, and there are a handful of usual suspects behind it. Fleas are the #1 cause, hands down. Even one single flea bite can trigger an intense allergic reaction in a sensitive cat, something we call flea allergy dermatitis. Your cat might not even have visible fleas anymore because cats are meticulous groomers and they'll often eat the evidence, but the allergic reaction from that one bite can linger for days. Food allergies and environmental allergies are another huge factor. Just like people can be allergic to pollen, dust mites, or certain proteins in their diet, so can cats. This usually shows up as itching around the face, ears, neck, and belly. Dry skin, especially in the colder months or in cats who don't get enough moisture or healthy fats in their diet, can also cause flaking and itchiness. And then there are ticks. Ticks don't just cause itching and irritation at the bite site, they can transmit some genuinely dangerous diseases, things like Lyme disease, ehrlichiosis, and cytoxoonosis, which is a serious and sometimes fatal illness specifically in cats. So keeping ticks off your cat isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting their life. Now here's the ingredient I promised you, apple cider vinegar. Just raw, unfiltered, organic apple cider vinegar, the kind with the cloudy strands floating in it, sometimes called the mother. You've probably got a bottle of it in your kitchen right now. Why does this work? Apple cider vinegar is acidic, and that acidity does 2 things. First, when it's diluted and applied to the skin, it can help create an environment that's less hospitable to some of the yeast and bacteria that thrive on irritated, inflamed skin, which means less flaking and less of that itch-scratch cycle. Second, many pet parents and some veterinarians have observed that the scent and altered skin, pH, from regular diluted apple cider vinegar use seems to make cats less attractive to ticks and fleas looking for a meal. I want to be completely honest with you here because you deserve real information, not hype. This tick-repelling effect is what we call anecdotal. That means it comes from real experience and observation from thousands of pet owners and some veterinary professionals, but it hasn't been proven in large, controlled scientific studies the way that prescription flea and tick preventatives have. So, apple cider vinegar is a wonderful, gentle support tool. It is not and should never be a replacement for a proper vet-approved flea and tick prevention plan, especially if you live somewhere with a high tick population or a history of tick-borne disease. Before we get to the exact teaspoon method, I also want you to be able to rule out the causes that a kitchen remedy simply cannot fix, because I'd rather you know the full picture than waste weeks on something that was never going to help. Ear mites cause intense itching around the ears and head, along with a dark, coffee ground-like discharge, and they need a proper veterinary treatment, not a home remedy. Ringworm, which despite the name is actually a fungal infection and not a worm at all, causes circular patches of hair loss and flaking, and it's also contagious to humans, so that one needs a vet visit too. And mange, caused by different types of mites burrowing into the skin, can cause severe, relentless itching and hair loss that will only get worse without proper medical treatment. None of these conditions will respond to apple cider vinegar, and if your cat's itching doesn't improve within a week or 2 of consistent, gentle home care, or if it's getting worse, that's a strong signal you're dealing with one of these underlying issues, and it's time to let a vet take a proper look. I bring this up because I never want a home remedy video to become a reason someone delays care their cat actually needs. Think of everything I'm sharing with you today as your first line of gentle support, not a replacement for a diagnosis when something is genuinely wrong. Now let's talk about the 1 teaspoon, because this is the part where I need you to really pay attention. For internal use, meaning adding it to your cat's food or water, the general guideline many vets are comfortable with is about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, mixed thoroughly into a full bowl of water or into wet food, given no more than once a day. I want you to start with an even smaller amount than that, just a few drops, and see how your cat responds. Cats are far more sensitive to strong tastes and smells than dogs are, and undiluted vinegar is genuinely unpleasant and can even be irritating to their mouth, throat, and stomach lining if given at full strength or too frequently. For topical or external use, on the skin and coat, you never ever apply apple cider vinegar directly and undiluted. That is a mistake I see pet parents make far too often, and it can cause real burning and irritation, especially on skin that's already inflamed from scratching. Instead, you dilute 1 part apple cider vinegar with about 4 parts water. So if you're using a teaspoon of vinegar, you'd mix it with roughly 4 teaspoons of water. Put that diluted mixture into a small spray bottle and lightly mist it onto your cat's coat, focusing on the areas where they tend to scratch the most, avoiding the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and any open wounds or raw skin completely. Let it air dry naturally. Do not rinse it off. If your cat absolutely hates the spray bottle, and let's be honest, a lot of cats do, you can dampen a soft cloth with the diluted mixture instead and gently wipe it over their coat. It's slower, but for a lot of cats it feels a lot less like an ambush. How often should you do this? For general itch relief and mild tick deterrence, once every 2 to 3 days is a reasonable starting point. You are not trying to soak your cat in vinegar daily. More is not better here. Overuse can dry out the skin and actually make itching worse, which completely defeats the purpose. Now, a few really important safety notes, because I take your cat's well-being seriously, and I never want you to walk away from a video like this with only half the picture. Never use apple cider vinegar on broken skin, open sores, deep scratches, or any area that looks raw or infected. The acidity will sting significantly and can delay healing. If your cat has any known kidney issues, apple cider vinegar should only be used under direct veterinary guidance because of its effect on the body's acid balance over time. Always do a small patch test first. Dab a little of the diluted mixture on a small area of skin, wait 24 hours, and check for any redness, swelling, or discomfort before applying it more broadly. And please, please store apple cider vinegar securely, and never leave a concentrated bowl or spray bottle where your cat could drink it undiluted. Too much straight vinegar can cause vomiting, drooling, and stomach upset. If your cat's itching is severe, if there's hair loss, scabbing, open wounds, a foul smell, or if they seem miserable and can't settle, please don't wait on a home remedy. That's your cue to get them to a veterinarian, because there could be an infection, a more serious allergy, or a parasite problem that genuinely needs medical treatment. Home care and veterinary care are not competitors, they're partners. And the goal is always your cat's comfort and health, not proving a home remedy, right? Now let's talk about what else you should be doing alongside that 1 teaspoon, because apple cider vinegar works best as part of a bigger picture, not as a standalone miracle cure. First, get serious about flea prevention. Even if you never see a flea, use a vet-recommended flea preventative, especially during warmer months. Remember, it only takes 1 bite to set off an allergic reaction that keeps your cat itching for days. Second, look at your cat's diet. A diet rich in quality protein and omega-3 fatty acids, the kind you find in fish oil supplements made specifically for cats, supports healthy skin and a shiny coat from the inside out. Dry, flaky, itchy skin is very often a sign that something in the diet needs adjusting. Third, brush your cat regularly. Regular brushing does more than just reduce shedding. It lets you check their skin closely, spot ticks early before they've had a chance to attach for long, distribute natural skin oils evenly, and catch any lumps, bumps, or irritated patches before they become a bigger problem. Fourth, check for ticks after your cat has been outside, especially around the ears, neck, between the toes, and under the front legs, which are common hiding spots. If you do find an attached tick, use a proper tick removal tool or fine-tipped tweezers. Grasp it as close to the skin as possible and pull straight out with steady pressure. Never twist, and never use a lit match, alcohol, or petroleum jelly to try to make it back out. Those old tricks can actually cause the tick to release more of its saliva into your cat, increasing the risk of disease transmission. Fifth, keep your home and yard less hospitable to fleas and ticks in the first place. Wash your cat's bedding regularly in hot water, vacuum frequently, especially along baseboards and under furniture. And if you have an outdoor cat or a catio, keep grass trimmed short, since ticks love to wait in tall grass for a host to brush past. I also want to gently address something I see a lot online, and that's the idea of essential oils as a natural flea and tick solution for cats. Please be extremely cautious here. Many essential oils that are marketed as pet safe for dogs, things like tea tree oil, citrus oils, and certain concentrated blends, are actually toxic to cats. Cats lack a specific liver enzyme that many other animals have, which means they can't process and break down these compounds the way dogs or humans can. Even small amounts or oils diffused in the air of a room your cat spends a lot of time in can lead to serious symptoms like drooling, vomiting, tremors, difficulty breathing, and in severe cases, this can be life-threatening. Apple cider vinegar, used properly and in the diluted way I described, does not carry that same risk profile, which is one of the reasons it's a more commonly recommended option among natural approaches for cats specifically. But when in doubt about any new product, always check with your vet first. So let's bring this all together. That 1 teaspoon of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar, properly diluted, whether added in tiny amounts to food or water, or misted gently onto the coat, can be a genuinely helpful, low-cost addition to your cat's itch relief and general skincare routine. And many pet parents find it helps make their cat a little less appealing to ticks and fleas along the way. But it works best as one piece of a bigger routine that includes proper flea prevention, a skin-supporting diet, regular grooming, and prompt veterinary care whenever something looks more serious than everyday itchiness. Your cat trusts you completely to notice when something's wrong, and to know when a gentle home remedy is enough, and when it's time to bring in a professional. That instinct you have, the one that made you click on this video because you're worried about your itchy, uncomfortable cat, that's exactly the kind of attentive care that keeps cats healthy and happy for years. Let me leave you with a quick, simple recap so you can go do this right now if you want to. 1. Start small. A few drops of raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar mixed into food or water. Never a full undiluted teaspoon straight into the bowl. 2. For the skin and coat, always dilute. 1 part vinegar to about 4 parts water in a spray bottle or on a soft cloth, applied every 2 to 3 days, never daily. 3. Avoid the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and any broken or irritated skin completely. 4. Patch test first and watch closely for the first day. 5. Pair it with real flea and tick prevention, a skin-healthy diet, and regular brushing. And 6. If things aren't improving or if they're getting worse, that's your sign to call your vet, not your sign to try harder with the vinegar. I also want to say this clearly because I think it matters more than any home remedy tip I could give you. The fact that you're watching a video like this, looking for gentle, safe ways to help your cat feel more comfortable, already tells me you're a wonderful pet parent. Not every cat owner takes the time to research before trying something new, and that extra care you're putting in is exactly what keeps cats healthy, comfortable, and loved for a long, long time. A lot of the skin issues and parasite problems we see in clinic could have been caught earlier or managed more gently if someone had just known what to look for. So honestly, just by watching this whole video, you're already ahead of the curve. One last thing before you go. Keep a small notebook, or even just a note on your phone, of when you notice your cat scratching more than usual, which areas seem to bother them most, and anything new you've introduced, whether that's a new food, a new litter, a new cleaning product, or time spent in a new outdoor area. Patterns like that are incredibly useful, both for you and for your vet, if this ever needs a deeper look. Small observations like these, tracked over just a couple of weeks, can turn a confusing mystery into an obvious answer far faster than you'd expect. If this video helped you, do me a favor and share it with another cat parent who's dealing with a scratchy, uncomfortable kitty. Drop a comment and let me know how your cat responds to this. I read every single one. And if you want more simple, vet-approved tips like this one, make sure you're subscribed because I've got a lot more to share with you. Give your cat a gentle scratch behind the ears from me, and I'll see you in the next video.